December at the library, text to 911 and leave collection. Welcome to Lexington Now for December 2nd, 2019. As always, I'm your host, Neil Noah. We begin with a look at the busy month that is December for the Lexington Public Library. Children's librarian Whitney Johnson runs down some of the big events coming up this month.
We have the Downtown Lexington Christmas Parade will be on Saturday, December 7th. And the library likes to support the families and kind of engage those who are coming downtown for the parade. So that morning from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. we will have hot cocoa and cookies for families who are there attending the parade. That's just something kind of fun to pop into Central while you're already downtown. In addition, we have a very special guest will be here on Thursday, December 19th at 11 a.m. for our preschool story time, and that is Mr. Santa Claus himself. He will be here to share a story called The Magic of the North Pole. He'll be here for about 45 minutes and then be engaging with families after to take photos and maybe get Christmas lists from the kids as well. And we'll also have hot cocoa and cookies for that story time also. And we're also looking forward to on Monday, December 16th, will be our baby sensory time, and the theme is Jingle Bell Baby. So we'll have lots of engaging programs for those young 0 to 18-month babies. Just fun things to get on the floor, to play with your child, and encourage them through those sensory learning activities. Yeah, so if you want more information, definitely check out our website, lexpublib.org. We have a calendar of events there where you'll find the information for the programs happening at Central and also all our other locations as well. And our Facebook page also has the most up-to-date program and events as well.
One of the newer innovations to public safety in Lexington is text to 911. But do you know how it works? Director of Enhanced 911, Robert Stack, joins us with the answer.
Hello, my name is Robert Stack. I'm Director of Lexington's Division of Enhanced 911. I'm talking to you today about a new feature that's available to the citizens of Lexington, and that is Text to 911. And here's how Text to 911 works. If you have a phone that is enabled to send text messages, you can enter 911 in the to line of your phone and then type out the message that you want to send us. We ask that you only use text to 911 for actual emergencies and not for questions or for things that are non-emergency in nature. So for example, if you have a car accident that you see and you're not sure if somebody's injured or not, you could enter 911 and then type out, there's a car collision at this location. I do not know if there's any injuries. Now, the thing I didn't do in that message example that I just gave you is I didn't use any acronyms, I didn't use emojis or symbols or things that would be hard for a 911 operator to understand. So we want to keep this really simple and use plain language to communicate with 911. 911, when we receive your text message, we'll text you back. We may just acknowledge that we got the emergency, or we may ask you for additional information, such as in this case, can you give us a description of the cars that are in the collision? Can you see people moving around? So it'll be fairly basic. The thing about text to 911 is it's an alternative to voice calls when you absolutely must use text. So there's situations that might be necessary in your case. People that are really going to benefit from text to 911 are people that are in crowded situations where maybe they can't talk out loud on the phone. People that are in domestic violence situations that the idea of calling 911 in the presence of their abuser might put them at risk. Another situation is people who have special needs and disabilities. So for example, some people with autism are able to use technology when they're nonverbal. So this would be a great tool for somebody in that situation. And obviously somebody who is deaf or hard of hearing can use text to 911 when that's a better option than for, say, using the relay service that's also available to you. So these are all options for using text to 911. But again, to remind you, we want you to call when you can, text when you can't. So that's the most important attribute of text to 911 you need to know. There's another feature of 911 that Lexington offers that's not really offered in a lot of other cities, and that's text from 911. So let me give you an example how that might be used. You accidentally dial 911 on your cell phone. That happens a lot here because people stick phones in their pockets, walk around with a phone in their hand, and they don't realize they're really dialing 911. So you do that, and maybe you realize you didn't mean to dial and you just hang up. The challenge for us is we have to call you back to see if you have an emergency. So we'll first try to call you back to see if you've had one. And if you don't answer, we're now going to start texting you a message that says, "This is Lexington 911. Do you have an emergency? Yes or no?" We need a quick response from you. If you don't have an emergency, just say no. We're not going to lecture you or get on you for accidentally dialing 911. We just need to make sure you're okay. So that's how text from 911 is most likely to be used for you. If you have any questions about text to 911, or you would like to have a presentation on how it works, or some of our other programs such as Smart 911, please give us a call at 280-8200, and we'll be happy to send somebody out to your community organization to talk about our programs and how to best utilize 911 in our community.
After the break, we talk leaf collection. Welcome back to Lexington Now. The calendar may say December, but an important fall activity continues in full swing. I'm talking about vacuum leaf collection. Rob Allen tells us how to take advantage of the service.
We're going 6 days a week, doing extended hours. Going to push through until probably late December. And we start typically on the western side of the urban service area and work our way east, and that is due to the prevailing wind and also the composition of the urban tree canopy, the tree species. If you need to look up your address and you receive garbage collection from the urban county government, it is lexingtonky.gov/leaves. There's a map. You would type in your address. It would tell you the date collection would start for your address. The operators at LexCall are also super helpful. 311, you can call and they will help walk you through the process. You would have your leaves prepared the night before between the sidewalk and the curb. Make sure there's no trash or debris or large sticks, no dead animals, no rocks, things like that. And our crews come by, They blow them into the street and quickly kind of slurp them up, and then they're taken to the yard waste facility and recycled into compost. We don't ask folks to move anymore. We don't post no parking. We have invested in some really powerful blowers. We blow around and from underneath, and get them out in the street where they could be collected by the vacuum. I do, however, caution people about parking on top of leaves. If their car is hot, it can actually start a leaf fire and burn your car up. So not a great idea. You're not supposed to put the leaves in the street anyway. You can also cause skidding and some accidents that way. We've been doing this this is the 6th year Streets and Roads has done this program. Each year we get a little better, invest a little bit more in technology, and goes a little smoother. In the past, it used to be 2 passes. Council in 2008 decreed that it would be a one-time pass, and our focus would go from vacuum leaf collection being the primary means of leaf disposal to the secondary, with the primary now being the gray yard waste cart that comes every week. You can also get the coupons for the leaf bags, and if you put out 100 bags, they'll pick them up on your collection day. So that's a really great service, and vacuum leaf collection is supplementary. You're out on Thanksgiving weekend, and you and the kids rake the yard and get them prepared along with your leaf bags, and we'll take care of it. We take them to our transfer station, and then they're hauled out to Haley Pike, where our contractor turns them into mulch and compost. Eventually they do get worked back into the quarterly mulch giveaways. It's just better for the environment, better for the stormwater system. We all get benefits from trees, and this is just kind of a byproduct. Folks can also compost them at home. They can use them to mulch their own landscape. They can also take them out once a month if they're a Fayette County resident to the yard waste facility there on Haley Pike.
Lex Park's annual Food for Fines drive is also ongoing to help needy families this holiday season. Gary Means fills us in on the details.
Food for Fines starts on Monday, November the 25th, and runs for 4 weeks until Friday, December the 20th. Food for Fines is now in its 6th year, and we're super excited to run it again. It started with an idea of coming from our staff. We had heard of Toys for Tickets, and then we'd also heard of Food for Fines. One other city, I think it was Boston, did Toys for Tickets. Some universities were doing Food for Fines back then, but there wasn't a lot of examples of it. So it was kind of something we thought we'd try out for a year, and it was a huge success, and we've continued to do it every year. The way it works is you bring in 10 cans, and that'll get you $15 off any citation that you have. Even if you have multiples of citations, you can bring in tons of cans. So we've had tremendous success each year. We average about 8,000 items donated each year, but we've collected nearly 18 tons of food, which amounts to about 30,000 meals. We work with God's Pantry, and that's what they reported to us, but it's been super successful. You can go on our website and then look, and that is lexpark.org, and then look up Pay a Citation. Click on that. It doesn't mean you're going to have to pay anything, but if you put in your license plate, or maybe your name and address, but try your license plate of any vehicles you've had or owned in the last couple of years, and that'll pull up any citations that you might have. I always like to say this Food for Fines program is like a perfect storm. Nobody likes to get a ticket, but people like to help people, and some people have a lot of tickets. And so we've had a couple come in. One time there was I think it was like a boyfriend and girlfriend, and they had these 2 huge Kroger bags full of I think one of them had like 6 citations, the other one had 2, but they were paying off 8 total. We've had somebody bring in a suitcase full of cans, and so we've also gone out and helped people get it out of their trunk. We'll do that. We've got a dolly, and you can holler at us, and we'll go out there and help you bring in all your cans. So the program takes place at the Lex Park office located at 122 North Broadway, and they are open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
We've got a lot of meeting coverage on Lex TV this week, and Chris Edwards is back to tell us about some of the items of business to be on the lookout for.
Thanks, Neil. We're getting close to the end of the 2019 calendar and the start of the Council's winter recess. This year, the Council will be on break from December 6th until January 13th, 2020. But before that happens, on Tuesday, December 3rd at 1 p.m., the Council will hold their final Budget, Finance, and Economic Development Committee meeting for the year, which will be followed closely by the 3 p.m. Council work session. Still on Tuesday at 5 p.m. will be the first of 2 Council meetings for this week. Note that 5 p.m. Tuesday is a special day and time for this meeting. It's likely during this meeting the Council will suspend the rules and give most everything they can first and second readings of ordinances and resolutions. However, though, before the readings can take place, we'll have a presentation for the I Was Here project. The I Was Here project is a very powerful and interesting story of a young African-American boy here in Lexington and in central Kentucky. Following that presentation, there'll be another on the Lexington Legends baseball team, which won back-to-back South Atlantic League championships. Way to go, guys. Then the final council meeting for 2019 will take place at the usual 6 p.m. start time on Thursday evening, December 5th. At the beginning of this meeting, there'll be a presentation for the Jesse Clark volleyball team, and there'll be another presentation on Miss Helen Evans. Miss Evans served in World War II and worked many years after the war getting our servicemen into educational programs. I had the privilege to interview Miss Evans several years ago, and she is certainly a treasure for our community. That's all we have for this week. Remember, you can catch all these meetings live here on Lex TV and web stream on the city's website at lexingtonky.gov/LexTV.
That's all for this week, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media, check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.